Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video. So we have had the Final Fantasy 16 release on PC. I am currently playing through it, enjoying it quite a lot, but it wouldn't be a Square Enix PC release if it didn't have its fair share of issue. But it wouldn't be the PC gaming community if they didn't already fix said issues, or at least a lot of those issues. Also, at the end of this video, I do want to quickly go over a note that I find rather interesting from Square Enix themselves in regards to Final Fantasy 16 and the FF7 Remake Part 2 Rebirth, and we'll get to that at the end of this video. Mainly want to talk about the mod. The game, while in gameplay, is running fairly well for me. This game had a pretty disastrous performance. Well, disastrous might be a little bit of a stretch, but the performance mode wasn't that great on consoles. But on PC, my experience has been much better. However, there are some issues, most notably the lacking of 60 frames per second or higher than 30 FPS in the cutscenes. Thankfully, somebody does have a mod that I will link in the description box below, available on GitHub. Super easy to download and super easy to implement as well. Really makes it easy for brain dead people like me, so this is definitely a great thing that you should definitely check out. And if you want the best experience in Final Fantasy 16, take advantage of this mod. And also, you've got ultra-wide support for it as well. This is a fix for Final Fantasy 16 that adds ultra-wide and narrower support, uncaps frame rate in cutscenes, lets you adjust gameplay FOV, and much more. So the general fixes include disable 30 FPS cap in cutscenes and photo mode, adjust gameplay FOV, which is awesome, allow frame generation in cutscenes, a screenshot quality option, and fixes hitching while taking screenshotting, allowing the use of motion blur and frame generation. Ultra-wide and narrower remove pillar boxing and letterboxing and borderless full screen, which is great. Fixed HUD scaling with configurable HUD size, fixed FOV scaling at 16:9, and a lot of great options there. It should be noted this is a incredibly, and let me reiterate, incredibly easy installation as well. So all you have to do is go on the link in the description box below, download the FF16 fix _VO.7.6 zip file, and then all you have to do after that is extract the contents of the zip folder into the game folder, which is generally, if you don't mess with it or if you don't have a second directory, it defaults to Steam Apps Common Final Fantasy 16 folder. You extract that and you are good to go, and definitely do take advantage of this mod. You're really doing yourself a disservice, especially if you have a higher end PC, of watching some of the fantastic cutscenes in 30 frames per second. I believe it's actually locked at 29. When I had my frame rate counter up, the cutscenes were just at 29 frames per second. The game I really enjoy. I've seen a lot of discussion about it, which I'll talk about for a little bit. Especially about the concurrent player count, which, the concurrent player count isn't that impressive. It's 22,000 concurrent players, which for a game that released over a year ago, and while I enjoyed Final Fantasy 16 a lot, let us be completely honest, the game was incredibly divisive. That's just the reality of the situation with that game. I loved it. I really enjoyed Final Fantasy 16, and I thought the spectacle of the game was absolutely outstanding. But it is a game that people had their fair share of issues with. It's also coming a year after release. I swear, reinstalling Twitter has been one of my worst decisions that I've ever made, but it really is a good tool to keep up to date with game news, game deals, and everything like that. So, I just gotta stop getting on it because I swear my algorithm is absolutely cooked. You look at anything related to politics, and I swear your algorithm just becomes political after a while. And, I've been getting a lot of FF16 tweets and just the discourse around the PC release, especially as far as its concurrent player count. It's a game that came out over a year ago, and it's still $50, $70, although I should, get my shilling out of the way. Final Fantasy 16 can be had cheaper at our good friends over at Green Man Gaming. You can get a Steam code for it if you're an XP member. 18% off for $57.39. The standard edition, also 18% off for $41. You won't pay tax either. So, if you haven't picked it up, pick it up if you're into a narrative-driven action title. This is predominantly an action game before it is an RPG. It's got some spectacular boss fights, some of the best boss fights I've ever seen in a video game. But if you do end up picking it up, do take advantage of this mod because it's going to greatly enhance your experience, and you're just going to have an overall better time. And if you spend a lot of money on a high-end gaming PC, you'd be doing yourself a disservice by seeing these cutscenes at 29 frames per second. Install the mod. Very easy to do, and has some other fixes intertwined there as well if you're looking for ultra-wide support. Just a lot of great stuff, and the modding community comes in clutch again. So link to that in the description box below. Also, if you do want the game a little bit cheaper, I will leave a link to that. And if you just want to add it to your wish list, wait for more fixes to roll out and then pick it up when it is seeing a deeper discount. Just bear in mind that Square Enix games do generally hold up in price for quite a long time, so you might be waiting for a while, and even then, you might see like a $25 basement price point for this. But yeah, I would say it's a worthwhile game to play through. There are a lot of cutscenes. Some people are going to deem the gameplay a little bit of a mindless hack and slasher, and you know what, if you think that, more power to you, but sometimes I could go for a flashy, over-the-top action RPG, and little emphasis on the RPG element, but the narrative is pretty good, even though I disagree with some of the aspects of it. There is a demo available as well, so go check out the demo if nothing else, and you can make your decision after that. But link to the mod in the description box below, link to Green Man Gaming if you do want it a little bit cheaper. You can use the code SEP15, that is SEP15, if you're not an XP member, and get it cheaper that way as well. And also, I do want to go over Square Enix admitting that Final Fantasy 16 and the 7 Rebirth profit margin did not meet our expectations. That is exactly their verbiage, and you can take this however you want. Obviously, I think if you have an allegiance to a specific platform, you're going to take it a little bit differently. Particularly, in their financial reports, they noted in the HD Games sub-segment, they released multiple titles, including major titles such as Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, but profits, unfortunately, did not meet our expectations. That is, in quote, verbatim, what was said. They are outright saying that the games did not meet their profit margin. Obviously, this is in regards to Final Fantasy 16 and 7 Rebirth and only their PlayStation releases. The PC release just came out, and it's not like FF16 is doing gangbuster numbers on PC. There's actually, again, as I mentioned, my usage of Twitter is really ruining my life, but I saw a lot of people being like, oh, you PC gamers don't buy any games. Final Fantasy 16 is not doing that well. Like, bro, it came out a year after it initially came out. There was literally, I forgot where I saw this, of people saying, if it doesn't sell 3 million copies on PC, we have a problem, or something to that effect. It's just like, there's no way that these people on social media are like real. They have to just be engagement farming, and I am giving them that engagement because I read their tweet, then I read the responses, and I'm just like, yo, these people cannot be real if this is actually what we're saying, if it's actually what they're saying. It's like, I just don't know. Let me, like, what do you guys think? Do you guys think these, like, social media people with their, like, takes that are clearly, like, just insane? Like, don't get me wrong, I have some insane takes. I'm wrong all the time, but how disingenuous can you be if you are assessing Final Fantasy 16's sales numbers on PC with this incredible lens that it's a year delayed? Like, come on now. Any game that's released a year after is going to have potential, you know, it's not going to do as well as it could. This has happened with the PlayStation titles as well. Look at where Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart peaked at as far as concurrent player counts on Steam. You gonna tell me that Ratchet & Clank all of a sudden isn't a big IP? Like, come on now. It's just ridiculous. Square Enix, as far as FF7 Rebirth and FF16 sales numbers go, I do think having it locked to one platform is an issue. Is that much of a hot take? I even think if you released on Xbox, you're gonna get some more sales, and if you released on PC, even more so, you're gonna get some more sales if you can figure out how to get it to run on Nintendo platforms. I mean, obviously, maybe the Switch 2 will do some DLSS magic and get some of these games running as well, but you gotta make these games as available to as many people as possible, and locking it away to PlayStation in these windows not only is gonna limit your sales, but it's gonna limit the appeal of the IP as well, in terms of it growing, because if you do these staggered releases, it's gonna come out with less fanfare. That's just what happens. If FF16 dropped on PC the same time as it did on consoles last year, on PlayStation last year, obviously I'm pretty confident in saying it would have peaked at well over 150,000 players. I don't think that's too big of a stretch. A year later, like, you're just gonna have problems. God of War 2018 peaked at like 50 or 60,000 players on Steam. Maybe it was 70,000, but it would have been orders of magnitude higher than that if it was released day and day. This is not surprising, and I think Square Enix is just hurting themselves from a sales standpoint as well. It'll be interesting to see where FF7 Rebirth peaks at as far as its Steam release, because that's a game that, more so than FF16, is a unanimously high-praised game. I haven't really talked to that many people that have had issues with FF7 Rebirth. On the other hand, FF16 was certainly divisive, but it would be nice to get these games day and date. Maybe. I don't think it's going to happen with Remake Part 3, because I believe Sony still has their exclusivity agreement, but maybe with FF17 in 2040, we can get a day-and-date release on PC. We'll see if that comes to fruition. But that'll do it for me. Again, mainly wanted to talk about the mod. Definitely check that out. That is necessary, in my opinion, mandatory even, to play Final Fantasy XVI on PC, and definitely check that out. And then, as far as the future of Final Fantasy games go, again, I think it would behoove Square to release these games on multiple platforms right out the gate. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.